Bonjour classe, bienvenue dans la classe de français 1. Aujourd'hui, on va parler des jours de la semaine. On y va? Classe, les jours de la semaine. Here it is. This means the days of the week. Les jours de la semaine. And I'm going to start things right off with a song because of course I have a song for you. Always, right? Here's the song. Lundi, mardi, mercredi, lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi, dimanche, 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 les jours de la semaine. That was a little low for me. Lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi, dimanche. Those are the days of the week. And they're in the same order that we would expect them to be. Class, let's take a look. Lundi, Monday. Mardi, Tuesday. Mercredi, Wednesday. Jeudi, Thursday. Vendredi, Friday. Samedi, Saturday. Dimanche, Sunday. First big question, what do they have in common? Do you notice something about these words that is a similar theme running through all of them, except for maybe one? Lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi. Look at that, they all end with di. So there's that joke that goes around, any day ending with y, only on days ending with y. In French, it's only on days ending with di. Except there is one day that does not end with d, and that is Sunday, dimanche. So that one is separate, it's set apart, it's different. Class, once again, lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi, dimanche, the days of the week. Take a look again at these words, these days of the week, because they do also have other connections, class. And I realize I'm looking as I'm filming this video, some of these things off to the side are a little bit cut off. We will talk about it in class, but just in case, this word here is supposed to say Mercury. Class, which day of the week is related to Mercury? Mercredi. How about the moon? Class, it's lundi, because what's that word in English? Monday, moon day. In French, the word for moon is la lune, lundi. What's related to Jupiter? Jeudi, très bien. What about Mars? Mardi, voyez? And Saturn? Samedi. Class, these are all Roman gods, and then there's also the moon. We're talking about the planets that are also named after the Roman gods, and that goes all the way back to the time of Julius Caesar, when people were speaking Latin, because French is a language that is derived from Latin. So those little remnants of that culture and history are still alive today in the days of the week. N'est-ce pas? Class, along with the days of the week, this week we're going to be talking about the months of the year because we're talking about time. I'm going to move myself over here so you can see everything clearly on the screen. Let's talk about the months of the year. Janvier, février, mars, avril, mai, juin, juillet, août, septembre, octobre, November, December. Now, the first question that's up here that's a little bit cut off on the screen, it says, which months are cognates? Class, if you remember, a cognate is a word that looks the same in both languages. It looks the same in French as it does in English, or at least similar, so you can make an educated guess as to what that word is. Class, with the months of the year, there are tons of cognates. Janvier looks a lot like January. Février, it's February. Mars, well, that's obviously March. Avril, totally April. May, it's May. It's even pronounced the same. Juin, yeah, that looks like June. Juillet, totally looks like July. Août Doesn't look 100% like August, but if you remember, the accent circonflexe means there used to be an S. If you put an S in here between the U and the T, you get Août. Looks a lot more like August now, doesn't it? And then check out these right here. Septembre, Octobre, Novembre, Décembre. It's the same word. All they did was flip around the E and the R. So, the months of the year, just little details we want to look for. For example, which ones of these have accents? Class, there are only 3. Février has an accent aigu. Août, as we already talked about, has that accent circonflexe. And décembre has the accent aigu. Super bien. Now, when we talk about the months of the year, we can also talk about the seasons. Class, what are the seasons that correspond to these different months? If we start with where we are right now, Septembre, Octobre, Novembre, what season is that? L'automne. Class, répétez. L'automne. It's a word that looks like autumn, and that's what it means. Now if we move on, coming up soon, it's getting colder. Décembre, Janvier, Février, and in Michigan sometimes even Mars. That is l'hiver. L'hiver. Here's how I remember this one. Because you shiver in the winter, and hiver kind of looks like the word shiver. L'hiver. After the winter, we start to get a little break. Avril, May, Mars, Avril, May, maybe the first part of Juin, we call that le printemps. Le printemps. Class, this means spring. And honestly, I feel like if you put an S here, can you see the word springtime? It's only missing the letter G. Springtime, printemps. And of course, the only one that's left, it feels like the shortest season, especially around here, especially when school lets out. It goes by so fast, and it's also the shortest word. Summer, l'été. Look how short that word is, just like the season. L'été. 2 accents aigus. L'hiver, le printemps, l'été, et l'automne. Those are your seasons. N'est-ce pas? Now, this is a preview. Next week, we're going to start talking about how the weather affects us during the seasons. So this is a little sneak peek. But for now, that ends our lesson for this week. The days of the week, the months of the year, class, practice them, work with them, sing that little song that I did at the beginning, and you'll be good to go. À bientôt. Au revoir.